Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope all is well with everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to what I have to say. You don't have to be in this space right now. There's so much on YouTube that is entertaining, and you don't have to listen to this right now. You could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here, so I appreciate you for that. And I just want to also say, this video is brought to you by Mother Nature. The organic nature, nothing is above nature. I always start my videos off like that because if it wasn't for Mother Nature, this phone would never have been created. The clothes I'm wearing, I wouldn't be wearing them. The shades I have, I wouldn't be able to wear those shades either. So I think it's best that, I always show gratitude to the ultimate creator, the divine feminine. And that's just how I feel about things. You got to just think about it. The car that you drive was made from nature. The money that you have was made from nature. Everything you can think of was made from nature. So you have to show gratitude to Mother Nature. If it wasn't for Mother Nature, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have the things that we fall in love with as materialism. But that's beside the point. I only have about 31 minutes. I'm not gonna take that long. I'm only gonna hopefully use about 15 to 20 minutes of my time here. And I just want to continue with the last video. If you had a chance to watch it, I was talking about the masculine force and the feminine force. Also talked about the binary and the trinary systems. And I want to expand a little bit more on that and get you to understand why that's so important to harness, why it's so important to grasp the understanding of who you are as a human being, and understand the energetic potential you have, the spiritual potential you have. The reason why that's also important, the reason why I have to groom you that way, the reason why I have to groom you, I have to groom people who haven't been in the space, who haven't been a part of conversations and things as far as like spiritual knowledge, is because when things really pop off, which is about to happen, you have to know how to control every aspect of who you are. You have to know who you are, every aspect of who you are. I have to be very clear. I have to be very transparent about that, because everything about who you are as a person, you have to have control over it. My best example is if you were in let's say you were just in a public setting and out of nowhere chaos just happened, right? Out of nowhere chaos just broke out. Riots, fighting. If you don't have any control over who you are as a person, you're gonna kind of react to what's going on. You're not gonna respond to what's going on, right? This is all to prepare you for the future, for what's coming in the future. And if you had a chance to listen to that last video I made, the title, Masculine Force, Feminine Force, Binary System, and Trinary System, I talked about artificial technology, and what I spoke on specifically was that in the near future, there's not going to be many jobs available to us. There's not going to be a lot of jobs available for the human being. A lot of robots are taking over the workforce. I made at least 4 posts last night on my Instagram. You can go check that out. It's Thurmstack, THURMSTACK. You can check out my Instagram. It's public. I made a story and I posted about at least 4 posts on my story, all showing you they already have robots in the warehouses. They have robot lawnmowers. They have robots in the restaurants. So this is to prepare you for the future, but also it's to show you how much the U.S. government doesn't care about you as a human being, as a person, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen, in my opinion, you could do your own research. At the end of the day, what I foresee, me personally, what I see in the future is that people are going to be misplaced. You are no longer going to be looked at as having any value to you. The system is going to look at you as a commodity, because there's going to be no jobs available for you if you don't work on creating a job right now for yourself. You're going to be looked at as a commodity. What's a commodity? Something to just be easily disposed of, or something that has little to no use. Again, if you listen to the last video, human beings right now, we're not even being looked at as human beings anymore. Most of us are being looked at as a number. These people who have been playing this game, they only see us as numbers. They don't see us as a skin color. They see you as a skin color, but when they see your skin color, they put you in a category, a certain category, and it goes down as a number. So your value is becoming less and less. I'm just going to be very transparent. You are becoming less valuable and less valuable to society, and guess what that means? Again, you're only going to boost the unemployment rate. You're only going to boost the homeless rates. So you have to start thinking about what you need to do as an entrepreneur. What I really want to expand on is what I just said. It's going to leave you as a commodity. They're going to just start throwing people in FEMA camps. A lot of chaos is going to break out again, because there's going to be no more need for you in the workforce. You're not going to contribute any longer to GDP, which is gross domestic product. So with that, for me, like personally, what I really see is just a lot of people being in chaos. We're already in chaos right now, just the way things are going. But when you look at just how it's all going to play out, if you could just predict the future, it's going to be a lot of war between the people in the communities. It's going to be a lot of killing. It's going to be a lot of just murder, a lot of stealing, a lot of robbery, because, there's so much that's going on that we're not paying attention to because of the job they're doing to the people right now. They're doing such a great job keeping everyone distracted that we're not seeing all of this. And it just doesn't leave us in a good place. Like what's going on right now. Again, I'll say it again. What's going on right now in the Congo, what's going on right now in Palestine, it's gonna happen here, because what are you gonna do with millions of people who have no job? What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna resort to their survival instincts, and they're not gonna care about what the law says anymore. It's gonna become purge. It's gonna become a purge. People are just gonna be all for one for all. Every man and woman for themselves. And me personally, I'm not the one to fearmonger you. I'm actually the one to create solutions, and also encourage you to create solutions as an individual and as a collective. When you get done creating those solutions as an individual, you have to also think about the collective too. You want to also create solutions for the collective too. You don't want to just drop, something like this, pretty heavy on the people and expect them to figure it out on their own. For most people, you kind of have to do it for them at this point, because there's been such a great deal of mental and conscious conditioning to the people, to the point where people do think for themselves, but they're not really thinking for themselves when it comes to being transparent with the reality we're living in. We're so dependent on the system that we don't give ourselves a chance to be critical thinkers about the future. The job may have us comfortable. Your savings account may have you comfortable, but what happens when you are forced to use your savings? When you are forced to no longer have a job, you are forced to think about creating a job, and everything is going on already. Everything's already in chaos. So I'm trying to prepare people and groom you for the future, so you can prepare for these events that are going to be happening in the near future, so you don't have to find yourself starting from scratch in chaos, because you haven't even prepared mentally or even consciously to do it. So I'm already approaching 10 minutes. I'm going to try to go 5 more or even 10 more minutes to just conclude things, because this is very important. What I just read in the article, or excuse me, what I just saw on Instagram, what I just saw on Instagram, very, very crazy stuff going on. Right now, what's going on in New York? What I just saw, what's going on in New York on Instagram, is that they're passing laws in New York to start to charge people to drive their vehicles on the road in certain zones. So when you get up in the morning to go to work, which is not going to be existent in the future, they're going to be charging you every day to go to work. Depending on what kind of car you have, they're going to charge you differently. But this law is now being passed. Do the research. Don't take everything I'm saying at face value. Just go do the research. They're now going to be charging you. You're going to have to pay money to go drive on the road. It's no longer going to be free any longer. Also, it raises the question, okay, well, they're going to be getting rid of gas vehicles pretty soon as well. I forget, 2028, 2029, maybe even 2030 will be the last years of the gas vehicle, and that's going to be, you're just going to start to see electric vehicles on the road. So, I kind of just connected the dots. I kind of just thought about, like, why is everything happening like this? Like, why is everything going on like this? And with my critical thinking skills, with my reasoning deductive skills, I concluded that this reality is no longer being set up for lower class or middle class. This reality is being set up for the rich and wealthy. Who has the money to pay every day to go on the road and pay every day you go to work? You already got to pay taxes for this and that, and now we have to start paying to drive on the road. That sounds like wealthy people lifestyle. That doesn't sound like anybody I know lifestyle. And also that's going to create less traffic, because you're going to get people who are going to say, you know what, I can't afford this any longer. They're going to, again, what I just said, they're going to start digging into their savings. It's going to force people to spend more money. Right? You're going to dig into your savings. Next thing you know, you're going to be low on funds. Next thing you know, the job's not going to be existent. Next thing you know, you're out on your ass. You're not going to have any money for rent, for food. Again, you're going to be in your survival instincts, and this is going to create a lot of chaos in the future if you do not prepare right now. Right? So this is right now, the world is being set up for the wealthy. It's not being set up for people like me, who I live in a homeless shelter. I'm not afraid to come on YouTube and tell you that. I'm in a homeless shelter. Currently, right now, I'm not, while I'm making this video. But later on today, I go check in at a homeless shelter. Because, I speak the truth, and unfortunate, premeditated events have happened in my life to get me to force me in this position. I didn't want to be homeless. Certain things happen, by premeditation, and it forced me to be in this position. But this video isn't about me. It's about you and how you should start to prepare for the future, right? So again, just think about it. I want you to be critical, right? I want you to be critical and think about this system that we're continuing to give so much power to, and we're continuing to depend on, and it doesn't care about us at all, so with that all being said, my solution is you have to start to think about a passive income. You have to work with artificial intelligence as much as you may not want to. I don't want to work with artificial intelligence, but I downloaded a really helpful artificially intelligent app just 2 days ago, which is helping me with my research and everything. I'm using it to my advantage. I'm no longer in the mind state of looking at artificial intelligence as a bad thing. You know what? I'm going to use it. I'm going to transmute the energy, and I'm going to use it to my benefit. I'm going to use it in my advantage. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. And also another solution, again, besides passive income, you're going to want to start to think about being an entrepreneur for the rest. You're going to have to commit mentally. I'm grooming you now. You're going to mentally have to prepare to be an entrepreneur. Today, I came in here tired. I'm tired right now. I didn't want to really do a video, but look, because of my discipline, I'm making a video for you. I'm making a video for the people who's going to listen to this, because of my entrepreneurship mindset. That's what I'm going to be doing when I'm in work, with doing my own papers and whatever. I may be tired one day. I still have to show up for myself, for people, right? So I'm there. I'm still working on it. But I've been working on this for the last couple of years, and it's gotten me to a disciplined mindset where I may feel tired, I may be irritated, but I still have to show up for myself and for people, right? So one solution is a passive income. Another solution is disciplining your mind to respond and be the observer and be in the center of things, right? You want to be in the center Another solution. You want to research ways on how to make passive income. You want to get more detailed. You want to also think about your dreams, your passions. You want to also get detailed with that. You want to start thinking about detaching from the system. I have 5 minutes left. You want to start to think about detaching from the system because the system is no longer serving us. Now, to be a little more detailed, the government is no longer serving us. They only want you to be comfortable mentally. They only want to distract you mentally. They only want to keep you entertained mentally so you don't think about the important things you need to think about right now. In a couple of years, you see how fast the year goes by. In a couple of years, things will not be the same. Things are already changing. We're in the digital age right now. So you have to start to think about these things. To go a little more into detail, we have to think about unsubscribing. That means we no longer subscribe to you. We no longer give you our power. We have to think about unsubscribing from the U.S. government. We have to think about governing ourselves. We have to think about popular sovereign policy. Now, you could you could research everything I'm saying. What popular sovereign policy is, that policy means that we govern ourselves. We no longer are being governed by the U.S. president. We're no longer being governed by politics. We are now in the position to govern ourselves. We don't need to be governed any longer by a system that doesn't care for us, right? So think about a community where we're all entrepreneurs and we're all supporting ourselves. Say if I'm someone in the community who does food, you're someone in the community who deals with water, someone else deals with clothing. You get the point. We're all supporting ourselves. The money's circulating 5 and 6 times in the community. The only real question is security, military. That's the only policing ourselves. We need people who have critical mindsets to do that. We can't have just any average Joe step into a community police force or a community military force who haven't put in the time and the work to govern your own mind. Before you try to govern anything else externally, you have to go internally and govern who you are. So I have 3 minutes left and didn't want to keep people's attention too long. I have to really keep my videos short on YouTube. And I just want to encourage you to think about what I talked about today. Although I wanted to speak a little more longer, wasn't able to do it. My space on this phone is very limited. And I just wanted to get you to think about that because we always have the power. We were never powerless. Also, I'm not a religious man. I'm not racist as well. My only way of life is Mother Nature. I don't want to squeeze this in. I don't want to rush this. Let me slow it down. I may go a couple minutes over. I don't want to speed through what I'm about to say next. I am not a religious man, okay? I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe in Muslim. I don't believe in Buddhism. No disrespect to any of those religions. I just don't believe in them. The First Amendment, my rights, allows me to say so. I have the freedom of speech. I have the freedom of press. I have the freedom of assembly, right? I have the freedom of religion. Last I checked, in this country, the United States, our First Amendment rights allow us to those things. So no one could censor me or tell me I can't say what I'm saying because I have the freedom of speech. If this country or government tries to tell me that, you're violating your own constitution. I could actually sue the country or do what I need to do legally against the country if you're trying to approach me in that way. I can assemble. I have the right to assemble. I have the right to go out there in a public place and rally together thousands and millions of people and hold a press conference to those thousands and millions of people. It's in my First Amendment rights. So just to kind of get into that, because I don't want anybody getting confused about, is he religious? What does he believe in? I believe in nature. I pledge to Mother Nature. And that's my only religion. Really, it's not a religion. It's my way of life. And as far as the race thing, I'm just going to hit people with a couple of stats because I want to let people know how much power they really have in this country. Specifically, the African American, I'll be proper, the African American people in the country. Even though a lot of us are indigenous, a lot of us are native, but they wanted us to believe we came from Africa they wanted us to believe we came from Africa into the country when we were already in the country because we were already natives to the country. You can go check out my second video, Spartan of the South, Never Giving Up. I talk about my native indigenous side. This is for my black people. Again, I'm not racist. I don't do the race game, but I want to let you know how powerful you are because these people in this country, they care a lot about numbers. They care a lot about the currency. They care a lot about the GDP. They care a lot about the stimulation of the economy. In 2020, when the pandemic happened, we saw a recession. We saw all-time lows. We saw turmoil. We saw people being unemployed, laid off. We saw one of the worst years in history, right? And that was controlled. I want to let people know that was controlled. It was a plandemic, right? That was a plandemic. It was all controlled. It was all planned out. Now, it took some years for the economy to pick back up. In fact, from 2020 to 2023, the year that the country saw the most value or saw the most currency was in 2023, which was last year. So 2023, from 2020 to 2023, 2023 had the highest GDP. Go do the research. So that means the economy is at standard right now. Excuse me. The economy picked back up. Everything's back to normal. No more recession fears for the country because they knew this. So whenever a recession happens, on average, it takes about 3 years for the economy to pick back up. Now, when I did the research, I looked in 2023 and I saw that I looked at the GDP and I was like, what was bought? What did people buy the most in 2023? And what was purchased the most in 2023 was healthcare, health insurance, Medi-Cal, Medicaid. And I'm wondering, like, why was that bought the most? You know, I'm a critical thinker. You have to question these things. You have to think about, like, why are these things being bought? Why is healthcare, right? Health and education is the foundation to the country. But specifically, why is health and healthcare and all this being bought the most? In this current moment, I only have a theory to why it was being bought the most. And my theory is because what I just said, people are going to be left and right. The air qualities, you got to just look at the videos. The air quality is going to be messed up. People are going to be purging. It's going to be, so a lot of people are purchasing healthcare. And obviously you got a lot of people who want to scam the healthcare, buying life insurance and all that. And, stuff, things like that. I don't want to put anything that doesn't make any sense into the space, but you have to just think about these things. What I want to leave my black people with, my African American people with, the indigenous ones, really, I don't want to be proper anymore, right? I don't want to be no more African American. You were indigenous. You're probably Cherokee. You're probably Chickasaw. You're probably Choctaw. You have to do your research for your own bloodline. And then this also is going to lead into my next video, because when we do get our birth certificates and we actually subscribe to that heritage, we no longer reap the benefits of the country. We reap the benefits of our native side. We actually can get assistance on that from being native. So I'll get into that in my next video. But this is a really, really important piece of information I'm about to share with you, my African American people in the United States of America. Every year, African American people spend the most money in the country. We spend approximately $1.6 trillion in the United States of America. So GDP, I want you guys to research everything I'm saying. It stands for gross domestic product. It shows you what's being purchased through goods and services by the quarter. So every 3 months, they have a report that comes out, and it shows you, and I'll also leave links and descriptions to where you can look at this information. It shows you by the quarter what's being bought the most by what ethnic group, by what race, and everything, right? Every year, this is our purchasing power. This is the power we have, African American people. Now I only have 6 minutes left. I guess I'm going to use all 31 minutes. We have the purchasing power of $1.6 trillion in the United States of America. We spend the most money every year in the United States of America. Guess who spends the least amount of money in the United States of America? Caucasian people. Now, I'm not racist, but I have to be transparent. I have to be real. I can't sugarcoat none of this. So you mean to tell me African American people, we are the most oppressed in this country? We haven't even got reparations for slavery. We're not even middle class. Some of us are. Some of us are billionaires, some, celebrities and whatnot. And we spend the most money in the United States of America. So we have the most purchasing power in the United States of America. Imagine if we stopped purchasing these goods and services in the United States of America. Now, guess what the number one thing we spend our money on the most, my African American people? The number one thing that we spend our money on the most is beauty, makeup, products, and stuff like that. You could go do the research. Everything I speak is facts. I only speak facts because I don't like arguing with people. You need two opinions to have an argument. You can't argue with me because I have facts. I speak nothing but facts. The number one thing we spend on is beauty and beauty, perfumes, clothing, all that. Now imagine if we stopped spending money in the United States and we actually spent money with ourselves. If we start to spend money with ourselves, guess what that's going to do? For one, it's going to lower the numbers in the economy. It's going to lower GDP. We're no longer probably going to be number one. And it's going to force other ethnic groups to start spending money. And guess what they're doing? They're back there making a lot of money and saving the most money and spending the least amount of money, while we're up there saving no money, but we're spending the most. We have purchasing power. We have buying power. We could use that $1.6 trillion to construct our own stuff. We can govern ourselves. We can govern what we need to do. We could govern our own land. We can govern our own food, our own schools, our own military, our own police. But we need critical thinkers. We need people who have worked on their mind and who are disciplined, people who are not biased, people who don't play the favorite game, because it's going to come down to being very, very fair. You can't be, I went to school with that person. Oh, that person used to be my best friend. No, you have to look at the collective and do what's best for the collective at this point, right? So I just want to leave you with that, because I just want to let you know the power you have in the United States of America. I just want to let you know the power you already have. You just have to unsubscribe. You have to unsubscribe. It's about that time, If this doesn't wake you up, if me telling you the system doesn't care about you any longer doesn't wake you up, you're dead. You're brain dead or something. I don't know. If me saying jobs won't exist in the future, you're going to be homeless and unemployed in the future, if that doesn't wake you up, you're dead. Mentally, you're dead. You're still here in the body, but you're a zombie. You're just walking around dead. If anything I've said today doesn't wake you up, you're dead. I only got 1 minute left. I wish I had more time, but it is what it is. So I want to leave you with that. I'm going to try to leave the link in the description to give you guys the website where you can go look at these facts. You can go do the research yourself to see I'm not lying. I don't come on here with lies. I come on here with facts. So with that being said, I'm going to go study. I'm going to go work on some digital products. I'm going to set myself up for, in the future, to work on my own passive income and what I need to do. So when the system goes down, I still have a way to pay myself. So that's what I'm about to go do. I'm at a library right now. I'm about to go study, do what I have to do to make sure I take care of myself. I'm not putting that in the hands of anyone who doesn't give a damn about me. Okay? So hopefully you have a good day. Hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully you have the attention span to just stick with my messages. Hopefully you can like, subscribe, share this message, because it would be nice to get build a community here on YouTube, even though this is my second channel. I have 20 subscribers on my other channel, and I only have 1 subscriber on this channel. So hopefully I could raise those numbers, because to them it's about numbers. I don't really care about numbers, but it's about numbers in this system, in this binary system. Now, when you go visit the trinary system, numbers don't matter. It's all about your soul. It's all about your energetic potential. It's all about who you are as a human being. Be careful. They got robot humans. They got robot animals running around here. They got demons. They got Satanists. They got Freemasons. They got all type of entities that don't care about you, don't have your best interest. They're gonna come in your face like they do, like they have your best interest, but they don't. Okay, so don't sell out. If you're messing with me, just know you got to pledge to nature. You got to pledge to nature. That's the only way I can verify people at this point. Thank you.